Sup guys, the name's Runner Dragon and welcome back to Seduce Me the Otome. So last we left off, we had some fun time with the tsundere Sam. And he enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it. So let's just continue on forward, and I'll skip to the Sam parts. I'll get right back to you. Before I could reach the handle of the door, however, someone took my hand. Huh? I turned to see Sam, who was holding my hand back with a stern look on his face.
My name.
Your name?
My true name isn't Sam. I want you to know my real name if something happens.
His true name? What did he mean? Why was he telling me this now? Sam gently pulled me to him and leaned close to whisper in my ear.
My name is Almaris.
Almaris. Okay, I'll remember that. As he said his name, I could feel it lock into my memory. Something in my head would make sure I would never forget it. Sam pulled away and stared at me, despite still carrying worry in his eyes.
If you're in any danger, any time, it doesn't matter when, call my name. I promise that I'll come and help you.
I stared up at Sam, unable to say anything. I could only nod in response. Sam nodded back before releasing my hand and heading into the dining room. Something told me that name would be used eventually. Okay, I haven't done the other option, get her. And since we're doing Sam's route, I figure, why not? Let's do it. 'Cause he's a brute and likes to beat up people and yeah, so might as well. I'd had enough. I felt adrenaline rush through my body as I pounced off of the ground and rushed at Lisette. I was not going to be the only one with scrapes this time. I tackled Lisette to the ground, swiping and slapping her innocent face. She screamed in fright before trying to push me off and block my attacks.
Holy shit! Anderson! Stop it!
I wasn't listening anymore. I let my carnal need to get revenge take over as I began to pull at Lisette's hair to get better aim at her face with my free hand. I'd had enough of the bullying, the wounds, the insults. All of that was going burn in the past, and as I scraped my nails and hand across Lisette's face over and over, my rebellion would be marked on her pretty face for all to see. Lisette pushed me off and scrambled to her feet, both panicked and angry at the same time. Her emotion was nowhere close to the anger I was feeling.
Are you crazy? What the hell?
I stood up very slowly, glaring daggers into Lisette's soul through her eyes. I must have had some sort of monster behind me, or maybe I looked like the monster myself. But the gaggle of girls, Lisette, and even my friends had the look of pure terror on their faces. I have had enough of you, Lisette. You obviously won't stop unless I fight back. Well, guess what? You're gonna get it. I charged at Lisette a second time, shoving her hard against the lockers. She let out a yelp of pain as she smacked the back of her head against the metal behind her before glaring and shoving me back. As I stumbled back, Lisette raised her hands, ready to fight.
Then come on, Anderson. Show me what you've got. I bet it's not much.
Seriously, I just slammed you to the locker. You should be bleeding by now. I found myself snarling in anger before raising my own fist, remembering my taekwondo. I quickly snapped onto one leg and raised the leg to get a swift kick at her head, but she blocked it with her arm and stepped towards me to jab at me. She had training. Not surprising. I didn't care at that moment. I bent back away from the incoming jab, re-establishing my balance as I placed both feet on the floor. Lisette threw jab upon jab at me, forcing me to block my torso and face with my arms and hands. Oh crap, I skipped one. Sorry. In my mind, all I saw was Lisette. All I wanted to do was make her stop, and if that meant beating her down, then it had to be done. We eventually gained a small crowd of people, all silent but observing the fight. My anger intensified and my hits became harder with each second that passed between us. I couldn't let her win. I wouldn't let her win. None of Lisette's girls dared to step in, apparently afraid apparently afraid to after seeing our skills and our individual fighting styles. Suzu was held back by Naomi's arm, despite both of them wanting to help me. They didn't wait long for it to end, though. Suddenly, Lisette was pulled away from me and I was pushed against the lockers by a strong force. Lisette hit the lockers as well on the opposite end of the hallway, letting out a girly grunt of pain. I looked up to see my art teacher, Miss Gordon, holding me against the lockers with a look of surprise and serious concern on her face.
Miss Anderson, what are you doing?
I looked to see Lisette being held back by Miss Phillips, starting to cry innocently. I knew what was going to come out of her mouth. Can you stop crying? 'Cause that's just bullshit. So I tried to push Miss Gordon off to confront her. Miss Gordon, however, kept an arm wrapped around me, keeping me back. No, don't you dare start crying, Lisette. You started this.
Miss Anderson, get a hold of yourself!
What is wrong with you? What did I ever do to you? I couldn't stop the angry tears running down my face as I shouted across the hallway. Lisette and Miss Phillips stared in shock at my screams as Miss Gordon tightened her hold on me. I am so sick of it! Leave me alone! Eventually, I lost my energy and began to weigh down on Miss Gordon's arms, letting my sadness take over and quench my anger with tears and swelling pain. I could feel Miss Gordon hug me to her to keep me upright as Lisette sniffled and confided with Miss Phillips.
I didn't do anything to her. She just attacked me all of a sudden.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. That's bullshit. Bullshit.
That's a lie, Lisette. You tripped her on purpose. You've always been a snobby prick to us.
What Suzu said.
Never! I gave my condolences about her grandfather's death. I try to keep everyone calm. Is that so wrong?
You didn't sound so sincere about it, so shut up.
You didn't even sound sincere. We know you were only pretending to be nice to spite us.
What Naomi said.
Enough. Miss White, follow me to the dean's office.
Lisette followed, wiping her eyes in the faint innocence she knew how to play up. I remained still in Miss Gordon's arms, unable to bring myself to fight to get at Lisette again. I had done my damage. The gaggle of Lisette wannabes would make sure I became infamous around the school. I didn't care. I made my statement on Lisette's face and body, and I wasn't afraid to do it again. Miss Gordon, however, wasn't done with me.
Come with me, sweetie.
I nodded and followed. My friends frowned as they watched me leave, but they headed to class without me. Miss Gordon led me to an empty classroom, which she had claimed as hers. It looked like all of the other classrooms, but art posters lined the walls. Many students loved the room, but hated one thing, the mirror in the very back of the room. It was the one thing Miss Gordon loved to use against her students. With it, she was able to see who was using their phone and who was actually studying. Miss Gordon led me to the back of the room and sat me down in front of it.
What do you see?
Huh? I see me. And you. I don't see anything else.
Tell me what you see.
I looked in the mirror and saw myself. My clothes were a little ruffled from the fight, but beyond that, I just saw me. Nothing about me seemed different than normal. To be honest, I see myself.
All right. What else?
What else? I don't understand.
Do you know what I see? I see a brilliant woman who has been working her butt off to try and find herself. She just has a little bit of adversity in her way.
Why does this sound like me, though? Why does this sound like actually me? Okay. What does this have to do with what happened to Lisette?
Listen,
With Lisette.
don't think about Lisette right now. She's just another student who doesn't know what you're going through.
I stared at myself in the mirror, unable to tear my eyes away. She was right, but I still lingered on about what happened with Lisette. I know Miss Gordon was only trying to help, but I couldn't fight the thoughts in my head. Miss Gordon gently rubbed my shoulders, snapping me from my thoughts. I looked up to see her smile down at me through the mirror.
You know, those were some pretty interesting moves. Taekwondo.
Did she just stay and looked at the fight before breaking it up? This teacher knows. This teacher's. I love this teacher now. Okay, if she was looking at us before breaking up the fight, I think she knows about Lisette, and yeah, she's just awesome. Yeah.
You'll have to show me one day.
Oh yes, I will. I laughed as she hugged me gently.
Look, Don't let Lisette get to you, okay? You have your own battles to face, and you can face them just fine. Instead of fighting Lisette, focus on your goals.
I looked up at her and nodded slightly. It was cliché to hear, but she was telling the truth. I needed to focus on myself first. She gave me a small packet of tissues and told me that she would handle Lisette. The fear about my family learning of this that had quickly appeared had vanished when she promised to keep me out of it as much as she could.
Everything will be fine now. You're a good student, so I'll let you off with a severe warning. Just don't get into any more fights, okay? Now, head to class.
This teacher is awesome. She's letting us off the hook. Yes! Yes! I nodded before heading to class. Alright then, let's get to the fight. Maurice! I have no idea if I said that right, but anyway, Maurice! All of a sudden, a bright purple light engulfed the room, causing the devils around me to cover themselves.
What the?
Gusts of wind rushed past me, almost forcing me back. I covered my face with my arms, bracing myself and standing my ground. I tried to peek through my arms to see what was going on, but the light continued to shine brightly. As the gust slowly started to die, the light began to fade, revealing a very pissed off Sam. Sam!
Don't worry. I got you.
Yay! Oh. At that moment, Sam didn't even give Malix a chance to breathe. As I blinked, I saw Sam's fist ram itself into Malix's cheek, sending the devil flying back against the wall of the warehouse we were in.
You motherfucker!
Whoa! Sam was relentless. He quickly followed Malix to the wall and began slamming his fists into Malix's body. An imprint of Malix's body began to form into the wall as Malix was beaten in. You see, this is why I told you, let's get at Lisette. Because look at him, he's punching it. And that's exactly what we were doing to Lisette. The remaining devils stared, trying to figure out what to do. Help Malix or watch in silence. Eris, however, walked up beside me and crossed her arms as she watched it with an amused smirk on her face. Eris gives not a single fuck.
Jack! Ah!
With a blast of heat, Sam was forced back from Malix. Sam slid on the balls of his feet, covering his face from the burst of heat that forced him back. Malix, on the other hand, was practically on fire. His menacing eyes glared deadly daggers at Sam as Malix gripped his gun.
You're dead, Incubus!
Malix pried himself off from the wall and began to fire hot bullets at Sam. However, none of the shots made it to Sam's body. In the blink of an eye, Sam had disappeared from his spot and reappeared at Malix's side, ready to lay a heavy punch to Malix's head.
Too slow!
Malix, though, wasn't as slow as Sam thought. Malix quickly turned to shoot at Sam, who barely had the time to dodge it. It quickly turned into a fight of Sam using his speed to dodge and try to hit Malix, and Malix using his gun and devil-like skills to try and lock onto Sam's appearing form. It was almost too fast to follow. However, I could tell something inside Sam had changed. He wasn't holding anything back in this fight. It was as if something incredibly demonic had taken a hold of him and forced each punch he threw and each step he made. Was this the extent of demon power? I didn't have a chance to answer myself. As Sam tried to dodge Malix, Sam tripped and landed on one knee with a loud thump. Oh no! No!
Gotcha, bitch!
I gasped in horror. Sam had no chance to dodge or run. I could only stare petrified as Malix charged forward and jammed the barrel of his gun into Sam's mouth. No!
Eat hellfire, Incubus!
No! Then, at that moment, something in the air changed. The air instantly went from frantic to still in energy. What could have been described in tone as the color red quickly turned into a deadly mix of purple and green, as everything began to blend together all at once. My eyes never strayed from Sam's face, however, even as it changed. His eyes began to glow a bright golden color as Sam began to bite down on the gun in his mouth. What? As the trigger was pulled, the gun was snapped in two between Sam's teeth. Small fragments of the gun flew everywhere while the look on Malix's face went from confused to petrified. Holy shit! Before Malix could utter a single response, Sam let out a giant animalistic roar, sending waves of fear down my spine, and tackled Malix to the ground. Damn! Okay. I stared as Sam began to slam punches into Malix's face. one right after another. Sam's skin began to morph and shift with each punch, changing from human to something else. Before I was allowed to see Sam's new form, however, a pair of hands quickly covered my eyes. Are you serious? Instinctively, I reached up and gripped them, trying to pull them off. A voice stopped me.
It's me. Don't look.
Damien, why? Why? I listened carefully and let the last two words linger in my mind. Don't look. Why? What was being hidden from me? I wanted to know, but something told me to obey Damien's command. I could still hear Sam screaming and grunting with each punch he ran into Malix's face, with the occasional cracking of bone and blood splatter echoing in the air. I want to see. Maybe it was better that I wasn't able to see. No, it's not.
That's enough, Sam!
Almost instantly after James's command, the sound stopped. The only thing anyone could hear then was Sam's panting grunts for air.
Malix is dead, and you've lost your glamour spell.
Shut up.
Well, okay. Glamour spell? What did he mean? Why does Sam sound so different? Why was this being hidden from me?
It's a spell that makes us look human.
I froze. Look human? They didn't look like humans after all? What did they look like?
Like demons.
As if Matthew knew what Damien was talking about, Matthew spoke up, followed by the sound of a cork popping out of a bottle.
Well, not for much longer. Here. Let's go. You gotta regain your glamour spell and you're all out of energy. Come on.
Fine. Whatever.
I could hear the small clinking of glass being passed before hearing Sam guzzle down a liquid of some sort. The feel of the air around me gently began to warm back up, insinuating that everything had been returned to normal. Finally, Damien moved his hands from my eyes, allowing me to see around me once again. The devils, including Eris, had fled. On top of Malix's body was a dirty sheet that was quickly turning red from blood. I could see that Malix's face was completely caved in, making a dip in the blanket. Ooh. The boys, however, had gathered around me, all of them, including Sam, looking like nothing had happened. What just... I tried to speak, but everything zipped around in my head at the whole event, and I felt like speaking wasn't possible.
Let's just get you home, miss. There's nothing more to see here.
I could only nod. What had happened boggled my mind to the point of disbelief. I was second-guessing everything, lost in a sea of what, and how, and when. As we walked out of the warehouse, I looked at Sam for some form of sign that I wasn't dreaming. Sam kept his eyes down and away from me. It was over. Malix was gone and the boys were finally safe. I looked at Sam, feeling my heart flutter in my chest. I didn't want him to leave, but would he ask to stay? I hoped that he would say no and ask me to stay longer. As if he knew what I wanted, Sam moved and stepped to me, putting his hands in his pockets and looking down at the ground. He was still ashamed of what he had done, but he spoke to me regardless.
Hey, I kinda... I wanted to thank you for your energy and stuff. Well, I kinda want to stay here. Can we stay here? Please?
It's so cute the way he's saying it. It's so tsundere of him. It matches. Okay. This is so cute. My heart skipped while a large red blush ran across my cheeks. The boys stared at Sam wide-eyed, but didn't dare to speak out. Sam stepped back to give me space, returning to where he was. The others quickly left to finally rest, leaving me and Sam alone at last. My heart fluttered a bit as Sam walked closer to me, looking to his feet. He was nervous, but it was really cute to see him that way, so I didn't do anything but smile.
Hey, thanks for letting us stay.
You're welcome, Sam, even though you were the one who wanted to leave in the first place. You're welcome, Sam. I'm happy to have you stay here. I watched his smile brighten a bit before he cleared his throat and looked up at me with a serious face. I didn't know if it was the tiredness or my growing attachment to him, but I felt myself sway a bit on my feet. However, Sam's face made it clear that he wanted to say something else, making me forget that my bed was also calling for me.
Listen, about what happened at the warehouse.
No, it's fine. You did what you had to do. I understand. I had accepted everything that happened and knew that Sam had to do what he had to do. He was real and he was someone I didn't want to be without, even if that meant nodding against my curiosity. Besides, I was too tired to explore that memory further. Sam nodded before holding out a hand to me.
Come on, let's get you to bed.
I nodded before Sam gently lifted me up into his arms like a bride and carried me to my room. I didn't want to leave his arms, leaning my head against Sam's chest, but eventually I was slowly lowered to my bed and covered with my bed covers. I was still in my school clothes, but I was too tired to strip or care. I looked to Sam, fighting a yawn from escaping me as he gently ran a hand over my hair.
Get some sleep, alright? I'll make some breakfast again for you in the morning.
You all thought Sam wouldn't be the one to make breakfast. Well, guess what? He made breakfast for me. Yep, that's right. Sam made breakfast for me. Okay. I nodded with a tired smile before watching him slowly stand and leave my room, closing the door. Sam walked over to me and placed a hand on my shoulder, looking at me with concern.
If she comes after you, you need to tell us, okay?
I nodded, knowing that he wanted to protect me. Sam gently took his hand from my shoulder and very gently moved a strand of hair from my face, however, making me blush and forget what I was thinking about. Oh, he could be so cute to us too, even though he's a badass. Anyway, okay. The sound of collective chuckles and playful snickers whispered through the air, making me blush even more. As Sam grunted in reply, the laughter stopped. I looked up to see he was glaring at his brothers, a fist forming in his hand, ready to swing at one of them. Oh, feisty. He and I pulled away from each other just as the sound of Naomi's car appeared. I quickly ate my food, waved to the boys, and left, confident that nothing was going to happen. Never, ever say that nothing will happen before the day is over. Diana lifted a hand under my chin and ran her thumb over my lips, licking her own. I could feel little shots of energy sipping from under my skin into my chin where she held me.
Now, let's have a little taste of that sweet, virginal sexual energy.
No! I said no! I'm not consenting to this. Step away from me. Personal space. I watched as she leaned in, ready to kiss me and take my energy. I said step away! Personal space! Half of my body felt elation at the idea. The other half completely rejected it and didn't want her to even touch me. Sam! Suddenly, Diana stopped in her tracks.
Sam, who is...
Then it dawned on her.
Ah, one of the boys. Why don't you tell me which boy is Sam?
I felt myself nod in compliance. The third. Diana giggled in reply before letting go of my face and stepping back.
Really? The brute? With you?
Yes, hard to believe, I know, but he's with me, so suck it up. I nodded once again, but this time it was partly my own decision to reply. Diana let out a sound that mimicked the cat's purr before stepping away from me.
All right then. Well, if it's the brute you're infatuated with, you should really rethink your romantic options.
Madam Sharky screams in the distance. I regret everything I do! I don't want to do Sam anymore! I can hear her screaming that in the distance as she's about to do Sam's route when Diana tells her this. But me, no, I'm not going to rethink my romantic options. Diana chuckled before kissing my nose, where I felt a shot of energy zap out of my body, almost making me dizzy and recoil. Diana then turned to the desk and sat on the wood, crossing her legs.
You can go now. Remember, no class for the rest of the week.
I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting. Sam! Or Amaris! Or I don't know, I'm just gonna stick with Sam. Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was Sam, rousing himself up to see me awake. I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
Oh, you're awake. How do you feel?
Better. Sam nodded before he looked down at the bed, leaning over it to stare at the blanket.
I'm such an idiot. If I was stronger, you wouldn't be like this.
Oh, Sam, no, stop. Sam, it's not your fault.
No, it's my fault. It's our fault. Look at you. You're in bed again, after us using our powers again, and you're a target again because of us. We never should have come.
No, Sam, stop. Don't put you and your brothers down like this. I wanted you guys to stay. I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear anymore. Sam, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you all stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped Sam's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about this whole ordeal. Diana was desperate and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault she was desperate enough to hunt them down. Sam looked at me, defeated by my hand, before he closed his eyes and let out a sigh. However, I grew curious. So, Sam, you're a noble? Sam opened his eyes to look at me. He didn't seem angry, but he had a coldness in his voice as he spoke.
I was a noble. I'm not a noble anymore.
Not anymore?
I was the third son of the Demon Lord. My brothers and I lived together in the castle as nobility. But since James was the oldest, James became royalty and was heir to the throne. The whole situation became one gigantic, boring mess. So we all grouped together and left to come here. Once that happened, we surely lost the chance to ever get forgiveness.
What was it like while you were there?
Like I said, one gigantic, boring mess. Eric, Matthew, and I were as replacements in case James fucked up. Since Eric was before me and since my dad was a dickbag, I wasn't ever likely to get the throne. So I spent my days lazing about and not giving two shits about anything. Not even my mom could control me.
Your mom?
Yeah, she's not like my asshole of a dad. She was actually caring and kind, but was a pushover.
Well, at least your mom is nicer to you. At least you treat your mom with respect. Yes. Sam let out a small laugh. I could tell he was getting nostalgic.
She always thought I could be more than I was. But my dad definitely made sure I knew my place. In response, I became the rebel son, hanging out with the commoner demons and such just to piss my dad off. I swear, I'm surprised he didn't kill me out of shame.
Damn, boy, okay. Respect for you. I gained respect for you. That's horrible. Sam stared at me as if I had slapped him. He then sighed and ruffled my hair a bit.
Don't even worry about it. You need rest. You don't need to know about the demon world.
But I want to know more about you. Sam stared at me, once again as if I had slapped him. I couldn't tell whether I was pissing him off or intriguing him. He let his hand that was ruffling my hair fall down the strands of my hair, stopping at my cheeks to cradle it. For a strong man, Sam knew how to be soft. Like I said, he's a tsundere. He's gaining affections for you. He's turning soft. He's letting you he's showing you his nice side now. Okay. Sam let out a sigh before unlinking his dog tag from his neck and putting it around mine.
I'm warning you, my past is boring.
I'm pretty sure it's not. Sam wrapped his fingers gingerly around the dog tag and I watched as green mist began to surround his hand and the dog tag. The green aura wrapped around the necklace until it snaked around my head, and before I knew it, I was surrounded by green light. When the light had subsided, I was back in the main hall of the demon castle. I looked around, feeling unable to move, but I could practically see everything as clear as I had before.
Bring that back!
My head shot towards the sudden exclamation, where I saw Sam rush into the hall with a quite large basket of bread.
No chance in hell, creepo!
Sam did what I only ever saw in TV, shows, or movies. He stomped his foot on the ground, causing a large boulder to burst out from it, before he kicked it towards the entrance he had came from. Dang. I could only stare at the boulder, as the boulder didn't demolish the door it was flying towards, but simply skidded to a stop, blocking the entrance.
That was easy.
Sam then turned into the hall, looking around as he walked towards the throne. He took a small roll of bread and stuffed it into his mouth, only able to cover half of it as he stared at the seat. I was surprised. Why does Sam steal bread? Why would he steal bread? He was a rebel, yes, but he was a noble. He wouldn't get in trouble for taking food, but he had a basket of bread. Sam chewed and swallowed the bread he started consuming inside.
Fucking asshole piece of shit parent.
I'm pretty sure that you're talking about your dad, in which I agree with you. He is a fucking asshole piece of shit parent. Okay.
At least you have your folks.
Oh? Oh, hi there. I turned to see another demon step out from behind a pillar towards Sam. Sam smirked at him and tossed him the basket of bread.
Think that's enough for you and your brother?
He got the bread for him and his Aw, that's a man right there, helping out other people.
More than enough. This means a lot, man.
Don't mention it, Gaku.
Gaku smiled and held out a hand to Sam, who took it and shook it.
We owe you for this.
You don't owe me jack shit. Now get going before you get caught.
Gaku nodded. However, Gaku quickly got out a dog tag from his trench coat and held it out for Sam. Sam stared before reaching out and taking it.
What is this?
A gift. A human world trinket. I know you and your brothers have been interested in it. Maybe this might bring you closer to it.
Sam stared before looking at the gift. It was glimmering silver, almost entrancing Sam's gaze. As Sam looked back up, Gaku lifted off of the sky and flew out an open window in almost sickly purple sky. Into the almost sickly purple sky.
The human world.
Sam looked back down at the trinket before wrapping it with green magic.
Like I can get any closer.
Sam tossed the trinket into the air, letting it vanish into an unknown oblivion. I smiled a bit at the sight, knowing the future of that point. What surprised me was a green orb floating towards Sam, wrapped in a purple-like aura. Sam didn't even turn around, but spoke as if he knew it. As if he knew.
What do you want, Mom?
That's his mom! Mom? How was that orb his mother? The orb simply floated in place as Sam turned to it with an almost angry glare.
Yes, I stole that bread and gave it to the commoner, all right? Don't judge me.
No judging here. Once again, Sam was not responded to, at least not from what I heard. Sam clicked his teeth and crossed his arms, peeved.
Yeah, whatever.
The orb then floated over to Sam and lightly brushed his cheek before flying off, disappearing into the air. Sam sighed, rolling his shoulders.
I need to get out of here.
He looked like he had a lot on his mind, but his closed mouth wouldn't let him express it. However, none could question his irritation. Eventually, Sam stopped the magic, taking the dog tag off of me and holding it in his hands before looking to me.
What did I tell you? Boring.
It's not boring. It was pretty nice and sweet the way you got bread for that guy and his brother. That's sweet of you. You helped that demon get food.
I was a rebel breaking rules. We're not supposed to care for common demons. We're supposed to let them die out if they don't have the ability to take care of themselves.
But you helped them out, and I have gained respect for you because of that. That is awesome. That is so nice of you, man. Sam gritted his teeth and let out an aggravated sigh.
Whatever. I'm not there anymore. I'm here.
Sam.
Look, I'm sorry.
I stared, my mind going blank. What was he apologizing for? Sam stared down at the blankets again.
You've done a lot for me and my brothers. Sheltering us, letting us continue to live here. It may not seem like much, but for us, it means everything. Especially after everything that's happened to you with that hellspawn Malix and Diana being crazy. I don't think we'll ever be able to repay you for what you've done.
I watched in speechless silence as Sam lifted his head, his eyes full of almost hopelessness.
Thank you.
Sam lowered his head and gently, almost as if I was fragile, placed his hand over my hand. I couldn't help but feel my heart squeeze within my chest at the sight. He truly cared. Sam let out a small sigh before looking to me, removing his hand from mine.
Now get some sleep. You still need rest. We'll wake you up when dinner is done.
Sam gently pressed me back down onto the bed, resolved in what had happened. We sleep too much, man. We need to get up and move. Steal a kiss. I couldn't let him leave without doing something. I quickly pulled Sam down to me, lifted my head and gently kissed him, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. Sam stared in deep surprise before hesitantly kissing me back, caressing my cheek and slightly melting at the touch of our lips. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with a smile. He gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a satisfied sigh before running a hand through my hair.
Sleep, doofus.
Don't call me a doofus! But if that's your nickname for me, like you love me, I'll accept it. And you're my dork. Okay. And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. Well, shit.